Boo, it's Becky from the future. Um, Wait, why am I saying boo? Oh my god, is future Becky a ghost? Shit. Okay, so I wanted this intro to be on theme with today's book because it's about time travel and I'm already messing it up. So let's just time travel back to like 5 seconds ago. Okay. Ooh, hello, and welcome to Too Stupid to Live, a podcast about romance novels, usually $5 and under. I'm your host, Becky Feldman, and I am sure you're curious about what today's episode is about. And trust me, you will be surprised because it's about time travel. Or maybe it's more like time anomalies or like multiverses. You know what? It doesn't matter. Today's book is an adorable, sweet, and sexy romance novel that honestly has been like a favorite summer read of mine. I'm pretty sure this book is the first time travel romance TSTL is covering for like a regular review. Um, unless I go back in time and change one of the episodes to a time travel episode, so I guess this is all to say, who knows if this is the first time travel episode we're doing? We don't know. Today, we are reviewing Cosmic Love at the Multiverse Hair Salon by Annie Marais. And I am so excited because we pretty much have a time travel expert as a guest on the show today. Deanna Russo is here to help delineate the non-linear sexiness of this book. And honestly, it was such a delight to record this episode. It was so much fun. I'm reliving it again and again. And guess what? Now you can too. So please enjoy this review of Cosmic Love at the Multiverse Hair Salon. Oh my god, Deanna, welcome to Too Stupid to Live.
I mean, I feel like we need to revisit all the vision boards we've made throughout the years to see if anything's manifested.
I think that, yes, because we have done vision boards for years together. I feel like this is like everyone's vision board, like in the world of perfection. Like if every vision board ever came together and it was like, this is the perfect vision board, that is
It's
this moment. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, you're welcome, audience.
Your vision board, my vision board, everyone's vision boards are just like coming true right now.
It's really beautiful, you guys.
It truly is. Okay, I have to ask, tell me about your like reading style, reading habits. Do you like to read? Do you like to read romance, things like that?
Love to read. I recently became a therapist, so everything that I've read lately have been like educational textbooks and or self-help books. Even before I went to grad school, I was already kind of nerding out on all that stuff. Uh, all that to say, when I do read for fun, it's usually going to be an audiobook. It's usually going to be while I'm multitasking. It actually kind of helps me do the task by having this other kind of distraction so that I can like kind of calm a nerve, right? But my favorite thing to listen to are autobiographies, memoirs, because it's told in the first person. When we get into third person narrative, I hate it when the reader does different like voices, because then I'm judging the performance and not the literature. So I have a hard time listening to it. I did listen to our book, and she did a pretty good job. The performer.
It's so interesting because like I did both, where I you can like read and switch back and forth. So that's how I did it, and I'm like so curious about like what it was like listening to it, because so much of it is done through text, or like so much of the story is told through texts.
Yeah, I was wondering how it would looked on the page, because these conversations are just something you're reading. Like,
it shows up like when I would read it, it would show up as like the text bubbles that you see on your phone. So, but even then though, like I was like, wait, who's who? Like I guess maybe I thought that way with like I thought it when I listened to it and when I read it, when I was like, wait, who said what? Okay.
Yeah. No, I loved this. I would say this is probably my second romance novel I've ever read. And gosh, let me do the math. Quick math. Has it been 30 years since my last one? So I was so happy when you were like, hey, do you want to do the podcast? I'm like, yeah, sure. And you're like, great, pick a subgenre. And I was like, I'm sorry, A what?
Yeah.
Of course, it's 2025. Of course, there would be
Mhm.
subgenres for all the things, including romance novels. And let's paint a picture. I've already done a cursory dive, not a deep one, a
Mhm.
cursory dive to try to find the name of the original romance novel I ever read. Can't find it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the details I remember. It's like late 92, early 93,
Okay.
okay? It's a purple cover with some kind of metallic title author, which escaped me. It's a mistaken identity thing where there's these women who discover their twins. One is a have, one is a have not, right? The have is like this ungrateful bitch. The have
Mhm.
not, like in the pursuit of this whole thing, like falls in love. And then the have not being jealous wears the have not's perfume, which the name of it I will never forget is called First. The
Okay.
name of the perfume that the have not like was like always wore was called First. So
Okay.
I thought, oh, that would be easy to find. And I'm getting to a point. And so the have sprays herself with First and like meets her boyfriend and like fucks the boyfriend. And then it's this huge betrayal. And then eventually, like, the have not becomes like the have, and I think
Mhm.
she reconciles it with the guy. The most memorable thing about this book, though, was that there were two gorgeous sex scenes,
Mhm.
and I like earmarked them, and I brought them into middle school. I was in the 7th grade at the time, and I brought them in, and I remember like it was like a page and a half, like this, like the best part of the sex scene, and like one of them introduced me to the term engorged manhood.
Yes.
And I
Mhm.
that has just stuck with me ever since. But also but also like it introduced like the kind of heteronormative expectation that penetration equals climax, and that's so
Yes.
problematic. And what was so fun about the fact that I just said, like, you gave me I was like, what haven't you done lately? And you're like, here's a short list. And I'm like, time travel. Oh my God, of course. Like, I love time travel. Let's do a time travel romance. And you found not just time travel, but queer time travel. And it was titillating because never in
Yes.
my life have I ever read queer romance.
Mhm.
And you might have opened up a whole new fucking door for me. If I may continue,
Of
I have
course.
another vulnerable thing to share with you.
Yes, absolutely. This is what the place to do it.
I feel safe. I feel safe.
Good.
So pornography in the visual sense has never tripped my trigger.
Right.
I cannot have that, like, what's it called, suspension of disbelief
Mhm.
between like the performers and what's happening on very rarely.
Same.
Like, I would
Same.
say you get
I
okay, yeah.
100%
So
get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you get
Because
it. I
it
don't have
looks
to
like
explain it.
work. I look like I'm watching I'm at work, and like there's just
Yes.
I need
Yes.
you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you want to believe that everyone's there. Like, okay, I would say the scene in Risky Business when Rebecca De Mornay and Tom Cruise are like doing it on the train.
Mhm.
There's something about that tension moment, that like carnal kind of push and pull. I remember that being like my way to trip my trigger when I was young, right? Like when I was
Yes.
first discovering like masturbating and all that stuff. I remember
Mhm.
like that scene in particular really stuck with me. I don't think anything tops that. I haven't really looked at it since, but like maybe I should revisit it. But all that to say, like it was this book with the name of the perfume called First, The
Mhm.
Engorged Manhood. It was that scene in Risky Business, and it was the Red Hot Chili Peppers album Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Mhm.
There's this 8-minute long song called Sir Psycho Sexy that I was
Mhm.
like, do I want to be fucked by Anthony Kiedis? Do I want to be Anthony
Mhm.
Kiedis fucking this lady cop on top of her car? Like, I don't I it was very confusing into me. Eventually I figured out I want to be Anthony Kiedis. But not with underage women. I know he has a
Right.
whole thing about dating too young, but
Mhm.
we're here now. We're here now, aren't we?
We're here now. It's like this is so fascinating to me because like, I feel like for so many people, like sexual awakenings are like such a personal thing. And I felt this in this book of like, even though like they don't like kiss for the first time until 50% in, but my God, are they horny on like page one? And like,
Uh-huh.
and it's like that like like I feel like that kind of like sexual kind of awakening goes like so it needs to be talked about more, I think, where
Mm,
it's like you brought something to school when you were in seventh grade, and other people saw engorged manhood for the first time in their life. Like that that moment, whether people talk about it openly or not, like that's their first moment, and you're responsible for that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
mm.
you're like in someone's psyche for the rest of their life. Like, do you know what I
That's
mean?
like vintage influencer status.
Yes, yes, yeah. Because like I don't know, I remember the person who told me for the first time that sex was a penis goes into a vagina, and she like I don't see her anymore, but like she is like
She's
in
that person.
yeah,
She's that person in your life.
she told me, and she's always going to be like a huge important part of like how I see the world. And yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so if visual pornography does not trip your trigger,
Mhm.
I'm guessing the audio or the literary world does.
I think for me, I love a story. I love
Mm.
like not even just a story, but like just kind of like emotions behind it. Like I think when I do watch pornography, which is not that often, but I usually search for like ones that like if I'm on Pornhub or wherever, it's always like female focused or like passionate or like ones where like it starts with dialogue and like so like there's this company called like Beleza Films or something, and they're like we make porn for women, and I think like it's like that kind of stuff I really like it doesn't end on a money shot, it ends on like a final romantic shot. Do you know what I mean? It's like these little
Yeah.
things that like kind of bring beauty into it. So yeah, I think I need like some sort of emotion and like high stakes emotion preferably. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and to this point, like these girls were flirting out the get-go.
Hmm.
It felt not unlike two women matching on Hinge and realizing that oops, my settings were wrong and that's actually not my zip code, and now we're in different time zones, quite
Hmm.
literally,
Hmm.
and now we're going to be here's this lesbian longing, which I feel is
Yes.
such a theme in like every lesbian film I've ever seen. It's
Hmm.
the like it's this pining, it's this yearning, and like lesbians love that unattainable, unrequited fucking love. I don't know. Have you?
Yes.
I'm guessing like so. This being my first queer romance novel that
Hmm.
I've ever read. You've read many. Like, have
Hmm.
you noticed a theme for the lesbian ones?
Um, okay, can I be honest with you? With the lesbian ones, I'm kind of like, these people have their shit together and I'm really rooting for them like a lot more than kind of like your heteronormative ones. I don't know. There's just like, I think maybe, and this could be just like a preconceived notion of how I view men and male characters, but I'm just like, kind of see the nuance in a lesbian relationship more than like, oh, okay. I'm thinking about like all of this stuff, like my own shit with men comes into play when I read a male character, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, of course.
With this, though, and I don't know if it's because it was a queer romance or if it's just this is just where my brain has been at lately with just reading. I've just been noticing that like there'll be something in the beginning of a love story, like page two, or like something really early on, where someone will say something to someone else, and I'll be like, oh, these two are meant to be together. The only thing keeping them apart is external circumstances. And I think with like their texting, I was like, oh, they're soulmates. And it's like their hearts are in the right place, their hearts made it, they made it. It's the rest of the world's that needs to just like get it together. And I'm like, oh, and so that question made me think like with other queer romances, did I feel that way as well? And I think it's more of like a chemistry thing than it is like, you know what I
Mm,
mean?
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they nailed the chemistry.
Oh, with like texting too, which I find so boring.
Ah, in real life?
In real
Like in
life.
real life?
In real life,
Oh
yeah.
God, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. See, for me, like my preferred dating app. I'm off the apps
Me
now,
too.
ladies. So sorry,
Hmm.
but congrats, congrats. I I need banter.
Yes.
I need banter, and so I can tell. I can tell in like like how someone initiates a conversation on Hinge. Oh, I was gonna say my preferred app was always Hinge because
Mhm.
it modeled social media, and it's like,
Yes.
oh, I know how to engage in a conversation because what you just need is to start the conversation with like Tinder, Bumble, whatever. It's like it's a lot about like I don't know. It just feels like we're focusing on the wrong things. For
Hmm.
me, that's not what I value. I don't want to see the girl version of a dick pic, or like
Right. Of course. Yeah.
how do
Hmm.
I know the substance? I need the substance. So I like that there's like a Twitter element.
Hmm.
There's an Instagram element. And then you can like just throw it out there, and then you find out real. First of all, I can judge a person based on their profile. I can get a sense of like, oh, you have like I'm not gonna date someone. I'm not gonna date someone with kids. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
date a fucking actor. I'm so sorry. Like these things that like I have enough of that in my life, my personal life. I don't need that.
Yes.
I need someone whose schedule is available to me,
Hmm.
someone who is secure with their self-esteem,
Hmm.
who but I can weed that out within the first like snapshot, and then you get into the banter, and I'm telling you, Becky, uh, it's so arousing to me
Yes.
when someone gives that good banter. So to see that chemistry between these women, like I related to it. I was like, oh, I love that they're just like unapologetically flirting in a way that I believe that this woman home with her bowl of soup and her cat with the best name epinephrine. I
Yes.
just like I love a good cat name. Like,
They had
what does that
good. That's
say? What does that
yes.
say about a character who names her cat epinephrine?
Yes, she has a cat named Epinephrine. There was, and then they get another cat named Spring, and like,
Yes.
which was cute because like the other person is into like water and spring, that and sees it,
That's right. Yeah.
loved it, loved it, loved it. Yes, like I think like I don't like texting when it's bad texting. Like when you're in a like so I take back what I said. I do like when it's a bad text session with someone and it is just like, how are you? Blah blah blah. That I'm like, there's nothing more boring than that. But when
Yeah.
you're
Deal
like,
breaker.
yeah, but like when you're like in the zone and like you don't need to worry about like sound like I don't know, like through in their interactions they were sarcastic, right? Like they would make a joke or like they made a joke like about like an engineering and a bridge broke down joke like right away. Like they just got each
Yes.
other right away and I'm like that the this was fantasy texting. Like this is dream texting right here.
Yes, yes. And I think maybe I'm too hard. I'm too hard on women that try to match with me because I'm like, if you don't bring it in the first like 3 to 5 responses, if it's not fantasy texting in 3 to 5, I'm like, you're out. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
have time for you. I can't pull this out of you. It's either you have it or you don't. Because I like whimsy. I'm just being kind of
Yes.
whimsical out the get go, and I'm gonna like. I remember this one girl kind of threw me shade because I said something. I'm like, oh, I'm not available for a fortnight. Like you're trying to make plans, and she was like, like she was not impressed that I was explaining like I'm not free for the next 2 weeks, and I said fortnight, and she's like, oh, you're one of those.
Oh my god, Tressa Faye would love you by the way.
What a great name!
I love the
So many
name.
good names.
There was so many great names. This world was so great. Like, okay, I'm just gonna read a quick synopsis because we are getting into it. So
Yes.
we read and we are going to discuss Cosmic Love at the Multiverse Hair Salon by Annie Mayer. Okay, so here's a really quick synopsis that I wrote. Okay, for most people who get a text from the wrong number, typically the interaction ends with a snippy, all good, no worries. But when Tressa Faye gets a wrong text from Meryl, who is communicating from 5 months in the past, the braid, that is, space and time completely unravels. Even though a multi layered love story takes shape, the stakes are high when it's revealed that Meryl goes missing by the time fall comes around. Past and present Tressa will comb through all sorts of knots to keep Meryl safe, learning that new beginnings can grow when you finally get around to trimming those split ends. Because after all, the greatest stylist to exist within any timeline is, without a doubt, Destiny.
Dying. I died. I have like my next of like my whole I have my whole will and estate papers. Just Becky, the hair references. God, that was so fucking good. The
Thank you.
braid, the split at what was the third? It was another way. It was braid. It was
Um, taking shape because like you shape your hair,
Yes.
right? Layers, multi-layered because like layers of hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
That was
thank you.
gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much.
I mean, they should be so lucky to have that in existence, the author and the publisher. And yes, so
I
good.
will I will sell that to like anyone. If you write
That
like
was
a if you write a
gorgeous.
therapy book, can I just write the synopsis in that way and just use pun after
I,
pun and like even though it has
yeah,
nothing to do.
with hair.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Well, now I'm inspired to write a book just to get the synopsis. Holy
Yes.
shit. That was fucking gorgeous.
Thank you.
I wanted to say it's kind of like the queer glass house, the queer modern glass house, right? Because glass house, but they were like I haven't seen that movie in a very long time,
That's
maybe if
the
ever.
Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves, and like they're
Not
writing
Speed.
letters.
Yes, they're writing letters, and I think it's 2 years apart, and or
Okay.
something, and they both live in this glass house.
Or is it a
But
lake house?
oh, the lake house.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a glass house on the lake.
Okay.
What the fuck is the name? Lake house would make more sense.
Yeah, because like Glass House, I don't know why I know this, but do you know the actress Lily Sobieski who was like really big? She
Yeah.
was so big when I was like in
Oh
high school.
yeah.
She was in some horror movie called A Glass House, and it was like like a teen horror movie kind of going. I'm trying
Did
to
they throw
remember.
stones? Did they throw stones?
They didn't throw stones, and boy did they feel stupid because they were living in glass houses as well.
You're right. I think I'm conflating the two because
But
of my
it's like
love
a
for
lot of houses.
Lily.
There's like a lot of
A
houses.
lot of houses, but also like aesthetically speaking, I swear to God, it's just like all glass. It's all just like windows
Well, why
on
wouldn't it
this
be?
not insulated fucking house on the lake that is a magical mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how that story ends, but I will say why. There's so many funny, arbitrary things about this book. And my first question is, why 5 months?
Yes. Yes. I had a question about that too. Because, like, it felt like, okay, there was a lot of stuff that I'm like, this is so clever. I'm very impressed with, I'm like, the amount of spreadsheets that you probably had to, like, use to, like, write this, and to, like, keep track of everything.
Respect.
Like, I have so much respect. But yes, 5 months, I was like, oh, is that. I guess I was like, is there something deeper to that? Like, is it symbolic somehow? Like, is the distance
Yeah.
between May and October, is that like a thing?
Is that
Like,
connected? Is it
right.
a Mayan calendar that would justify
Exactly.
this?
Yeah.
Or like a Stonehenge glitch or something. I was looking for that, but they never explained that. I have a lot of things that I love about this that when it gets picked up to series, please bring me on as a staff writer. Like I have a lot of thoughts on how we can enrich and build out the world. So like I say this from a fan's perspective because my it's like, when you love something so much that you wanted it to be a little bit more, but then I'm like, oh, that's not what this was. This is a romance novel. So
Yes.
so slapping that cafeteria tray out of my fucking hands, like stop trying to make it more. But when we like turn it into a movie or like I said, a limited series, I think this could be like at least 6 seasons though.
Yeah, well, it's so funny you say that because, like, I was thinking, like, this could easily be a series, like, because, like, I think what the author does so well is that they're, like, in a lot of romances, you have, your main 2 love interests or 3 or however, but there's a whole, like, side array of characters who all get their own kind of, like, chapter and, like, their lives are, like, influenced, and it's, like, they all contribute to like maybe for lack of a better word magic of it all, like like their lives are affected with every decision that the 2 romance. So absolutely I totally saw this as like a limited series, and I saw it as like because like there were parts where it's like they have their own personal love stories that end up getting like the dad or like the friend, like their love stories get kind of changed up a bit, and I'm like, this could easily be a TV show. Easily.
Yeah, that would be fun with the different colored filters to indicate
Yes.
is like which
Mhm.
which life this is. Okay, God, where do I even begin?
Mhm.
So like, they have the power to change history that happened 5 months ago. And
Yes.
at no point is anybody talking about lotto numbers. Nobody's talking
Yes.
about, hey, that kid that committed that mass shooting shouldn't buy a gun. Do you know what I mean? Like how like
Yes.
they could have been, sure, we can think like altruism, maybe they could have saved other people's lives
Hmm.
besides Sweet Meryl. But also like they could have profited, but Biff Tannen style, a la Back to
Yes.
the Future Part Two. They could have profited off of this.
Absolutely. Like it was like kind of interesting. Like okay, like you said, this is a romance, but I it is interesting to like I don't know, live in this current day and time. And like, I'm listening to the audiobook walking along the river, like looking at like all these different, signs and things that people are posting and spray painting. And like, and it's like, oh yeah, like, why wouldn't you? Like, it feels weird that it's like, okay, this is just about like a love instead of like, well, tell people not to vote for Trump, or like things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know this is a swing state. This is
Yes.
happening in Wisconsin. Like you're
Yes. You guys
um
ruined it for us. Yeah, no,
uh,
yeah.
uh, have you ever been to Wisconsin?
Um, have I ever been to Wisconsin? I don't think I have. No. Maybe
Is
like a stopover, like a layover one time, but I don't
is Milwaukee, Wisconsin? I've been to Milwaukee.
that it sounds like it's
It sounds like
Wisconsin.
it,
I
right?
said
Madison,
Wisconsin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. It's in
Sounds like
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
It's
Yeah.
like not quite Michigan or Minnesota,
Yeah.
but
It's
not
in
quite
that area.
Wisconsin either. It's in
Yeah.
that area. Thank you,
The
Great Lakes.
Midwest is Wisconsin. I think we can all agree. Let's just start calling it that.
We are coastal elites.
It's
Forgive
true.
us.
Yeah, it's
But you
true.
also
Yeah.
fucked us in the election, so
Yeah. So you're an entirely different country. I don't care if I get your state
pretty
wrong.
soon. Pretty soon. Right. No, so this does like so I just love the specificity of, kind of quote unquote middle America. Also the dad, speaking of like, you know, the pendulum swinging, the way his character's painted at the beginning of the book, Tressafe's dad.
Hmm.
There's no other dad I think we meet, but like he is painted as someone who's kind of gruff, who gives her this hard boundary, saying like, you can stay with me. The backstory is that like you can stay with
Hmm.
me for 30 days to get your off your feet and on your feet, and then you're out. And that he's very Catholic, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then like by the end of it, like he's just this big softy,
Hmm.
like. And I'm trying to like pinpoint, like, did we see that reversal of character? Like, did we see him struggle with it? I think it just kind of
Yeah.
happened. So
Because
that was
there
really
was,
interesting.
yeah, there was a lot of like, and I don't mean this in like a kind of a critical way, but there was a lot of like telling, not showing, in the sense of with every decision that like Tressa and Meryl were making, because like I think like one of the things is that like they're very aware. Like so basically like Meryl like past Meryl is seeing past Tressa while texting with future Tressa, and everyone is in the all two Tressas and every Meryl, they're all in the know that this is happening. So as like this love story between past Tressa and past Meryl unfolds, reality is changing. So current present day Tressa and her friends will like wake up with like a sudden new memory, even though we didn't see them live it. So and
Yeah.
so like I am curious if like with the dad, like was like did it happen, but like oh what an interesting thing we could have seen if this were a TV show.
Thank you. Exactly. This would really translate well visually.
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. We need to see those flashbacks, and all of a sudden, like, maybe it's a head twitch and like an eye squint, and they're like
Hmm.
whoosh, and there's definitely a sound cue of like,
Yes. Yeah. And I kind of like again like was thinking like oh my god like what if this is so weird but like what if that's happening right now, like what if like we just like think of a memory like I don't know, I'm thinking of a memory I
yeah,
don't
what
know
memory are you
like
thinking of?
I guess okay, a memory that I am thinking of right now is watching TV in my dad's office when I was in fifth grade. Like, I remember watching a made for TV movie in my dad's office in fifth grade. I remember the like his old couch and like the old TV he had, and it's like, oh my god, did that really happen? Or what if there's like a me 5 months ago who's just like falling
Yeah,
in
yeah,
love with
yeah.
someone and like and that never happened, but it did. And it's
Right?
like, did I really live that moment, or did my like what? Who is me? What is you? Like,
Dude, I mean, I think like bigger picture, we could create our own brand new therapeutic model for healing,
mm-hmm,
right? It's like it's
mm-hmm.
kind of like narrative, but it's where we kind of like we rewrite the story of what happened to us so that we're not the victims of our trauma,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like we can now literally go back in time and like, you know, eternal sunshine our minds or make them
Yes.
spotless.
Yes. It's so funny you say that because, like, I like did in my past do what is it, EMDR therapy with
Yeah.
the eyeball things, and like,
Yes.
it's like very interesting to kind of like be thinking about these moments and then like having someone like direct you to be like, okay, well, take yourself out of it and like look at it from like you're watching this as a movie or whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah, it does. There is a level of like therapy of being able to see something as if you're reading it like this is a fictional thing you're just experiencing as opposed to like
Yeah.
remembering something
Yeah, you have
or
so much more
reliving.
compassion. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
so much more compassion for the character. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're like, oh, well, of course she, you know, threw rocks off that bridge that one
Yeah.
day and cracked that guy's windshield, like,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like, as the 11-year-old who did that, you know, maybe I can stop beating myself up
Mm-hmm.
about it all
Yes.
these years later. What a dumb
Yes.
thing to do. I still have like a scar in my leg, like the car, like it's so
Mm.
stupid when I challenged you to think of a memory, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh god, what would I think of? And I like
Mm-hmm.
my brain immediately went back to like prank. Is it a prank? No, it was vandalism. Like we were just
Mm.
bored on this like farm, and there are these dirt roads that kind of intersected where there's a stone cover, is not covered, but there's like this stone bridge like over this other dirt road, and my sister and I like rode our bikes down to this area, took like the gravel from this dirt road and like would push it off the ledge when a car drove by, because we thought it was, we weren't trying to break anyone's windshields, we just thought it
Mm-hmm.
was funny that like hee they're gonna hear rocks on their cars.
Right. You didn't know.
Oops, I didn't
Yeah.
know. In a fucking BMW, we cracked the windshield, and he like stopped short. We like freaked out. She was smart, grabbed her bike and like hauled us home.
Mm-hmm.
Me, for whatever reason, I jumped in the bushes
Mm-hmm.
and like scraped my
No.
scraped. There's a pricker bush, and
Mm-hmm.
it like this
Oh.
pricker. This thorn went right into my calf and like
Oh.
sliced all the way up, and I still have this fucking scar on my leg to remind me of this moment. And I
Mm-hmm.
hit up there, and it never occurred to me that you could easily find us from that road, because for
Right.
my child's mind, that was something you had to like how would you drive all the way this way and know to come through this like private road that way? No, this guy found me and just like asked me. I don't think he was expecting some like white 11-year-old girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think he was
Mm-hmm.
picturing some you know, whatever, like like awful stereotype.
Yes.
And no, like white 11-year-old girls can be punks too.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I just played dumb, and he was like, oh, and then he like drove away.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently he drove. I can't believe this. Oh my god, this is healing for me, Becky.
I'm
He
so
drove
glad.
all the way. He drove all the way to our fucking house and like knocked on the door. Like, how would you? You have to understand like the geography of this farmland. Like, it's not like did he? There's a couple other houses. How would you know to go to that one? Bang on the door. And my sister was honest, and she fessed up, and we ended up having to pay
Mm-hmm.
and replace his like expensive windshield, as we should have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to make amends. But why am I bringing this up? I guess like if I were to go back in time to tell her, hey, look, it was even less about the money. It was more just like, hey, idiot, you don't actually want to damage property, because this will damage
Right.
property, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just remember it being like so catastrophic in this household because what am I trying to get at? It was just so catastrophic that like like even the smartest and like the good kids of the house can be fucking idiots.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's this
Yes.
pressure. I don't know if you grew up with that pressure to be like the good kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I definitely felt like, oh, I'm a rule follower. I need to please everyone. And then also kind of like struggling with like my own, I don't know, like kind of I don't know, like just trying to get by in the world. And like
Yeah.
looking at like different things, like I don't know, like this is not the same thing at all, but I just like remember one time like a bunch of the kids were like playing in the woods and like we found an eyedropper and like someone's mom thought it was drugs, and it's like I just remember thinking like this is bad, like I know like drugs are bad according to school, according to our health teacher, and I'm just like I don't know, like just remember thinking like, okay, like this is just a silly mistaken identity, but remembering back then of like I'm gonna go to jail, like I don't know, just like thinking that
Yeah.
like my life is over, you know?
Yeah. And having to explain like yeah, and trying to explain your character and while also
Yes.
trying to figure out what your own character is.
Yes. And like we're still like granted, we were like at the time you were only on this planet for 11 years. All you had was 11 years of experience and you're in this situation and it's like you have to like make sense of it, and it's like I don't know, like it's like yeah, we should be giving ourselves a break. Like
Yeah, like I mean, textbook like we were not quite latchkey kids, right? Like
mhm.
we were too spread out to be true latchkey kids, but
Mhm.
we were left alone for many
Yes.
hours of the day, right? It's so
Mhm.
funny how by today's standards, you're not supposed to leave kids unattended if unless they're a certain age. Like that didn't exist back then. They're
No.
like, "Oh, you can use a toilet. I'm going to go out for a pack of smokes. You're fine,"
Yes,
right?
it's like you're potty trained, I'm out. Like I like you can like stay in the house alone. And it is very fascinating to me because like I don't know, like just like how like we would go outside in the street at night and our parents would just be watching Seinfeld or something and like not have their eyes on us. Like we literally could do anything.
Anything. There was no location tracking.
No.
There was
Yeah.
none of that.
It
It's
wasn't like even like I don't know, like things like I don't know. My niece goes to like gymnastics, right? And so like her parents, my brother and sister-in-law go and sit in gymnastics and watch her or whatever. With us, like if we had baseball or ballet or anything, our parents would just like kick us out of the car and go to the mall or do whatever
yeah,
they did. I don't know.
Jesus. Yeah. What did our parents?
I have no idea.
That's the question. What were our parents doing with all
Yeah.
this free time?
Yes. Like it's like not like I'm imagining my mom probably did errands or like just caught up with life, I'm sure. But
Sure, sure.
but I'm just like, oh wow, like you had like a couple of hours.
Yes. And 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 like your hair wasn't turning white from worrying where the fuck we were because we didn't text
Yes.
you back right away or whatever.
Right.
That
Yeah.
didn't that wasn't even like science fiction at that point. It was not
Hmm.
even there. I love time travel. I love the concept of it, like, and I think it has to do with the fascinate for me. I'm fascinated with how linear time feels and how we're kind of on this moving walkway that's just like
Hmm.
that keeps like, bringing us forward, but then also at the same time like there's these overlaps of dimensions possibly, and then this dimension that is right in front of us right now but we can't see because we're limited by this like pinhole that we're
Hmm.
viewing life from, when in actuality like you take enough DMT and it's like everything has happened already. Like
Yes.
time, like we know everything already. So then I'm like, oh, I appreciate the linear nature and the unknown elements of time because that's where we experience discovery. That's where we experience a song, right? Like
Hmm.
experiencing a song is linear. A story is linear,
Hmm.
right? Like there's
Hmm.
stuff we don't know and then we know, and that learning is like the joy of it. Watching a sporting event, right? Like
Hmm.
seeing how it's going to unfold. Like those are all parts of why I think we're not forced to, why we sign up and subscribe to this like dimension of love and squalor. JD Salinger, we love JD, but like, but but then there's all these concepts of, okay, if we were to time travel, how would we time travel?
Mm-hmm.
And though this is, so what was really interesting about this book is how it's like, if we just keep falling in love, we can mend space and time.
Yes.
And it worked out for them. They were right.
Yes. Yes. And it was like kind of like, because like what was so interesting is that like I feel like with other like time travel things or anything like this, it's like don't fuck up, like don't step on this because then the dinosaur, or you know what I mean?
Yes,
like it's like
yes.
don't make huge decisions. But with this book, which was so interesting, it was like no, fall in love. You have to fall in love to like save your world, you know?
Yes.
And so it was just like such a fun kind of like epic way of like using that trope and like kind of bringing in like I like a lot of philosophy with it, because like I think you're right. Like for me, like I have a lot of fear. I think everyone has a fear of death, right? So it's like that is the one thing we know is the end, right? So it's like, but we need like linear stuff in order to learn, in order to heal, in order to meet people. So it's like kind of like this give and take where it's like it is so great we have time, but at the same time it sucks to be like reminded of it, you know, because like our existence can be so limited. But if you don't see it that way, if you see like every moment like is just starting a bunch of like bubbles of like multiverses, and those multiverses just exist, you know, like
infinite.
it can be beautiful.
Yeah, God, that just reminds me. I need to finish. Is it Loki? Where they're trying. Have you seen that series?
I have. Yeah.
I need to. I didn't finish the second season, but that's kind of where it's like they're following all these different timelines, and eventually they're like, oh, that one's getting too far. If we gotta just like end that whole timeline or whatever. God, I love this shit. I do want to also give big ups to Tressa Faye.
Yes.
For having this boundary of not coloring hair. I love how she like does these gorgeous Javian caliber makeovers with just scissors. Do you know what I mean? Like no color. She could, and everybody's talking about how like she doesn't want to sell out. She doesn't want to be an Instagrammer, but she just wants to keep her business manageable, and she wants a lot of integrity in her work. And yet you could have had a colorist. Like you could have like hired out, and that would have just like been an added. I'm just saying, Tressa Faye, like
I loved it too, and I actually almost also like loved the backstory of it, because like they have her kind of very sensitive to chemicals and scents and things like that, which it's like it's so silly, but like I don't know. You know, like when you go into a casting, like, did you remember like going to audition for a casting office and like there'll be like no perfume, the casting director like hates, you know, whatever. And it's like that to me is so fascinating. And so it was like, oh, cool. Like,
oh my God.
It's so great.
Oh my God, I forgot that. It was one of the first things that I related to when she's talking about smells. I didn't connect the dots. That's why she wouldn't have a colorist on site.
I thought.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because like I was just hating it so much, and like, oh, okay, you're having a migraine or you're about to puke every day because of a scent. Like, of course you would like limit whatever. And I'm like, look at her like making the best. Like,
yes,
I don't know. Like, there's like. It's like, oh, you can go nuts and go to see all of these like allergists and like try to do this and do that and get surgeries and this and that. And it's like, you know what? Or just fall in love with just cutting hair.
Just cut hair. Yes. Have your boundary. I just opened up a space. All my clients right now are virtual. They're VR. They're in my VR.
Yeah. Video game characters.
Chat GPT. Yeah. But I'm really helping them. Like I'm really seeing a lot of growth. No. But like I think as I open up in person, I think what I'm learning from this is I need to make it clear. Please, no strong. I'm going to be the bitch ass casting director that's like, no perfumes, no colognes. Like if you're a smoker, like Febreze yourself. No, don't even Febreze yourself.
No, Febreze is so rough. I mean, I just remember one time there was like. I remember there used to be a place here in LA where you could like make your own perfume, you know, and it's like,
oh yeah.
And I remember I picked up a friend to go to a party. She made her own perfume and it smelled so bad. I pulled over and it made me vomit. And I like, I was like, oh, I'm so hungover. I think no. It was,
no.
the smell of her perfume, it was just like I had never, because like I feel like my family like kind of has like, I feel like my mom's very sensitive to like scents and stuff, and maybe I picked up on that or something. But like, yeah, I just remember like, oh my
What
god,
happened? What happened after you puked? Did you continue to the party?
I continued to the party. Yeah,
But she could have made it could have been like Stand By Me, where suddenly everybody's puking at the party.
I don't know what it was. I think it was because like like well, okay, so the party, I remember it was like an outdoor party. It was a pool party, and
Okay, okay, okay,
so
okay.
we were in like the enclosed space of my car. Windows are rolled
Yeah,
up because of the AC, and like
yeah.
I, to be fair, was drinking the night before. So, but so I did have it as an excuse. But I feel like I just the nausea wouldn't have happened
Oh
if like
God.
just this custom made perfume like that was like the same name as her name. You know what I mean? That I'm sure she was so
So,
proud of.
do you remember? Oh hell yeah! Do you remember anything like any like how would you describe the perfume?
It was like okay, I want to say flower. There was a flowery scent to it, and I think that like when it's like very when it's so flowery, there's no like fruit in it or like like no
Mm,
like any sort of like flavor scent to it, if that makes any sense. Like it just feels so chemical-y to me.
mm-hmm.
Um and like whereas like okay, if there's like strawberry, like I know what a strawberry is. It grows on what, and I know flowers grow on whatever, but this was just like I don't know, it was like flowery mixed with like ammonia, like or like something that
Cat
like
pee.
the
Yeah.
exact cappy, like some sort of cleaner. I think
Ugh.
like that kind of like really strong cleaner is what it smelled like,
Yeah.
and it was just and to granted, if I made my own perfume and I was like really proud of it, I would put a lot on. I do think she put on too much.
Oh,
So
sure.
there was probably that, like maybe it was the amount of it as well, probably,
Yeah, all top note. You're in all the top note. I I did one of those workshops. I
Mhm.
signed up for one of those workshops because somebody I followed on Instagram did it, and I'm so fucking susceptible. I'm like, oh, she's so cool. I want to do that. And I showed up, and I was so newly pregnant that I didn't even really
Mm,
that I couldn't talk about it. But I was pregnant enough where I was crazy.
mhm.
Wow, pregnancy made me. I mean, I'm already like a unique flavor of ice cream. Let's just say that. But
Right. Yeah,
being
yeah,
pregnant like made me like I didn't recognize myself, and it really compromised my brain power in a lot of ways. And I remember like showing up, and I was so sick anyway because everything was making me nauseous.
yeah.
That
Mhm.
I don't know who I was fooling or why I was doing this big performance. Not that I was doing a performance there, but like by acting like I'm not sick and like going to this fucking perfume class. Also, there was no camaraderie or like
Mm.
people were not there to make friends. This was not.
We're here to make
This was not.
perfume.
This is not perfume's best friend class, right? This was
Isn't RuPaul's best perfume?
exactly
Okay.
no, no, no. No, this is very much like Mistress Isabella Brooks was just
Mhm.
like ew, like nobody wanted to
Yes.
talk to me, and it's
Ugh.
fine. But I was just like wanting to be chatty, and also I thought like I've also had this nostalgia for the grossest perfume I've ever smelled, which was Grass by Gap.
Yes,
Do you
I remember that.
That was I
Yeah.
was like I remember smelling that in the 90s and being like, this is the grossest fucking, why would anyone A think they could sell this and
Mhm.
B buy it and put it on their fucking bodies. But
Yeah.
I was like, oh, do you guys have that? Like I want to smell that. And I think they like the person whatever like let me smell it. But what I learned there is that okay, there's synthetic scents and then there's like not synthetic, like real scents, right? I
Yeah.
mean, not I forget what the word is, but like
Mhm.
the synthetic scents are most of the time cheaper. Like
Okay.
musk is cheaper because I think
Mhm.
real musk comes from like dead deer or something. Like
I always thought
I,
dead deer smelled great. Yeah.
it really
Love-
turns me on.
Yeah,
I
love
do
the
love a
smell of dead
musk.
deer. Yeah.
Like, that in a romance novel. I am
If I-
HOTT.
Oh my god! If I was just like,
what?
he smelled of dead deer, and I'm like, panties wet.
Drop panties wet.
They're dropped.
Dropped. Uh, Didn't even need my hands. The wetness just pulled my panties down.
No, yeah. It was wild.
I ended up walking out of there with something that was like called fig or something, and it was literally the only thing I smelled that didn't make me nauseous. And I remember being so shocked. Anyway, it's so disgusting. I still have my vials from that night, and I'm scared to open it up because here's a fun fact going back to time travel. So the reason why you sometimes smell something and it takes you back to a certain time before you really understand what's happening, it has to do with how our brains are built. And forgive me, do you already know this?
No, but this is fascinating because I go through these periods where I will smell something and it will remind me of like bubble bath when I was a kid, and like it drives me nuts. So continue because I need to know that. I need to know the answer.
Okay, so it has to do with proximity in our brains. So like every other sense goes to an emotional every other sense we experience, like vision. We see through our eyes, but then the information we get from our eyes goes to a relay station. It's the occipital lobe in the back of our brain, and then it kind of gets processed, interpreted enough, and then it goes to the emotional recall part that's in the center of our brain. Noses are different. Noses smell, and there's no relay station. It literally goes boop boop. We smell, and we're having a huge emotional recall before we can process what the fuck it is that we're smelling.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Like you'll
100%. Yeah.
You'll smell something, and all of a sudden you'll time travel back to the dance studio you did recitals at when you were 5 years old.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then and not know why.
Like, this is wild, but this is so weird, but like the hair conditioner that I'm using right now smells like the perfume that my 6th grade music teacher like would wear.
Wow.
And it was either the perfume or some type of cleaner, but it smells like the classroom. Like, and I don't know if it was like whatever kind of air freshener she used, or if it was her perfume. I'm like, was air freshener invented then? It was. But like I just like it was like here, like I just remember like smelling it for like a few weeks ago, smelling it for the first time and just being like, oh my God, this smells like the music classroom at Voorhees Middle School. Like it was just like, it was this wild like, and then I was like, I never thought I'd ever smell this smell again. And then I was like in the shower, just so amazed for 45 minutes, just wasting water. But
I remember like I Flonase. Do you ever take Flonase?
I do. I love Flonase. I mean, it smells like roses.
It smells like Bath and Body Works, like pea berry or something.
Yes, there's
it is
is it plumeria? Is it plumeria? No, sun ripened raspberry.
It's one of those that only existed as a body spray in like the early aughts. Yes.
Okay,
we're gonna find out because I know my sister wore it, and then like haven't smelt it in 20-something years. I'm taking Flonase to survive Los Angeles poisoned air.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why does it feel like I'm in my sister's bathroom in Florida? But another time travel book that has to do with smells and perfumes, Jitterbug Perfume.
Okay.
Have you ever?
No.
It's not romance.
That's okay.
I'm going to mess up his first name because there's too many of them. It's either Tim, Tom, or Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Which one is it? Which one's the author that I love? One's an actor. One's the motivational speaker.
Yeah, Tony Robbins is the motivational speaker. Okay. Tim Robbins is the actor.
Tom. Then it's Tom Robbins. We got there, Becky.
We got there. Listen, process of elimination. This is perfect.
He did Still Life with Woodpecker. He did Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. My favorite of all of his books is Jitterbug Perfume, and he does that time travel where he goes to the source of all things, where time is not linear anymore, but he gets there through overripe beets. And the way actually this chapter might be could go in a romance novel. The way he describes the smell of a beet field makes you want to fuck beets so hard. I'm not kidding you. It is like I actually never tried a beet in my life, and then I read his book, and I'm like, okay, beet, and then I just bought the ones that are pre-made and peeled at Trader Joe's, and they were in my salad rotation for a good while.
Because you wanted to fuck.
Anyway,
you wanted to fuck.
I wanted to fuck those beets. He combines it. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just funny you say that because like in a lot of like werewolf romances and like romances where like there's like some sort of like paranormal element, or where people aren't really human, like they have more animalistic qualities. Scent is a very, very big thing in these books,
Mm.
where like when you meet your soulmate, they will smell different, and you or if you know that they're near, that you will get that smell, and it's like so fascinating because like that it's such a trope, and I don't mean that in a bad way, like a trope in these books of just like having like a strong specific scent being attached to someone, and someone that's important to you.
That's so carnal. I
It
love it.
really is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what basically this whole book is about, this king who wanted to live forever with his wife. And so they like found this perfume. It's like jasmine and beets, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And like they smell it. She goes, like they both go to this source, right? I call it the source. It's like where
Mm-hmm.
time doesn't exist. And he somehow comes back, and it takes him like 50 or 100 years to recreate the perfume just to get back to her.
Oh, that's
And
romantic.
it is, it's so romantic. Jitterbug perfume. Not that you
Mm-hmm.
have. I'm sure you have. You read one of these a week, so I don't think you have time to throw another one
I
in.
will
But
listen.
it's
Here's
so
the thing.
good.
I have a problem with just buying books, and they're just like on my shelf, and I'll just keep buying them, and I
You're
still
a
read at
fire
the same rate.
hazard. You're a
It's
fire
true.
hazard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is true. But listen, I it's like I'll hear something and I'm intrigued and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start, or I'm gonna add it to the list, or like whatever. And so I think I need to read this because I will say sometimes I do need to take a bit of a romance break, just to kind of like
Sure.
cleanse the palate, if you will. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like a good depressing
like a
memoir.
really good like crime, like
Yeah,
a
true
history of crime
crime.
thing, just to really just palate cleanse.
What I would say is that you're an eternal optimist with the stack of books
Mm.
that you have, and I like that about you.
Oh, that's so interesting because like I I feel like I like romance because it's optimistic, and I'm like curious if it's like maybe because I'm not optimistic. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like takes me to a
Yeah.
place where I don't have to like think about
The
how negative the
realities of
world is. Yeah. Do you know
what are you talking? What?
what I mean?
Is anything bad? I haven't looked at the news at all today. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
I
It's
mean,
by the time this comes out, I'm sure there's 9 more hundred things
oh
that
my god,
are
it's gonna
awful.
be it's gonna well if one of them is that time travel has been invented by the time we record this to like I'll believe in something. I'll
You
become an
believe?
optimist. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll
And
become an
you'll have.
optimist.
If you figure out time travel, we gotta go. Share me some lotto numbers. We'll share. We this is a pact. We have to share
Mhm.
lotto numbers with each other,
Yes.
and we have to like disarm a couple mass shooters.
Yes.
Yeah, like
And
we
like
can. We that's in our power.
I think so. Or just like find okay, well I probably should you know what? I hope I get arrested. We'll find the whereabouts of certain people who should be assassinated. And then you know what I mean? I said it. I absolutely said it. We don't know who I'm talking about. But listen, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
We're already hauled off to Guadalajara.
Yeah. I'm done.
Guadalcanal. All right. So, let's get back. That's
Yes,
edited.
I did absolutely love this diversion so much. Oh my god. But should we talk about Meryl as a character though? Because
Yeah.
she's a
Did
redhead, she's a
you
nerd. I loved her.
did you
Yeah.
relate to her because of the color of her hair?
I absolutely did. I feel like it's funny. I related to her because of the color of her hair. And I related to her because people like people other people were viewing her as smart, which she is, right?
Oh yeah.
I sometimes feel like sometimes people view me as smart and they like assume that I am a water scientist, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know what that word is, or like they'll like say something and it's like they'll make like a reference. I'm like, I'm not as smart. I related to her, but I'm not smart like her. I loved how much Tressa loved her though. Like I loved how like she would like wear like a silly T-shirt and Tressa was be like
Oh, yeah,
my girl.
mathletes.
Yes.
Mathletes loved that. I also loved.
Yes.
They then juxtaposed it with how the original date viewed the T-shirt. I'm like, is that
Mhm.
ironic? Like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was nice.
They have like both like Meryl and Tressa have these like philosophies in their career where like Tressa kind of talks about the importance of a haircut and what it's more than just like getting a haircut to maintain a, I don't know, basic hygiene. And like Meryl has works for like is like an engineer, and she loves water, and she like has
Mm.
this like philosophy that water has a memory. And I was like, both of those things really resonated with me. Like those ideas really resonated with me, and I was like curious like how you felt about it.
Oh, it reminded me of a classic cartoon called Frozen 2. The whole the whole thing that Olaf goes on about is how water has memory.
Okay,
So,
I did not see Frozen 2. That's
oh,
my B.
you missed that? You
I
don't
missed out on
know?
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to the Frozen
So
2 heads.
it's cool. Frozen 2 came out at like the beginning of lockdown, and it
Hmm.
became like a daily companion in my house. So I have it pretty much memorized, and I ended up like watching it so much that I went from like falling in love with this. Like I was gonna say Stockholm syndrome, but that's been debunked.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah, no. But in it, they talk about how water has memory, and so I thought that was really interesting that they were able to follow. Also, let's talk about that water date. They did this whole like
Yes.
creek date, and she's walking around. Trisafe's been literally wearing a one-ish piece bathing suit for like more than 6 hours. And
Hmm.
what are we thinking, ladies? Yeast infection? Are we thinking like she needs some probiotics?
Yes, I am.
What is she?
I was nervous about that. I was nervous about the fact that she was wearing non-waters. You know how like there's like water shoes? She's wearing Converse, which are not made for any sort of
No.
like water
So
travel.
slippery. No, yeah.
Not only that, no socks with it. No socks
Ew.
on those shoes. Again, which is fine. Like anyone can do their thing, but just as someone who went to sleepaway camp, who did one
Mm.
time forget her socks, and who accidentally fell into a river, and those shoes were so fucking gross afterwards, and just like all the like the amount of like blisters and discomfort I felt, it was so hard for me to like. And this is like the most romantic thing. Like they're like this is when they are falling in love, and all I could think about was like if she gets a blister and then it starts getting wet because of the river water or whatever.
Oh, yes. Staph infection. It's
Exactly,
like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
yes. Also, like, anytime there's like a nature date, and I don't think they hooked up at the date because, like you said, they like didn't kiss for a really long time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like, I hope they have fucking hand sanitizer because all these
Yes.
like, what was I watching? Yellow Jackets. Like
Mhm.
in Yellow Jackets, there's all these gorgeous lesbian like lovers, but
Mhm.
they have not had soap in like
Yes.
in over a year,
Yes.
and they're finger blasting each other with
Yes.
just dirty fingernails.
And also, like, just thinking of finger blasting, like, I guess maybe they have like nail clipper, like it's like those things, like nail
Right.
clippers. Not that everyone needs to shave or anything, but I'm kind of like, well,
Sure.
how does no one have a unibrow? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes. How does nobody? Yeah, exactly. Everyone's acne free. Like,
yes.
come on.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so I definitely like with this, especially because like she like they like Tressa kept like fumbling and falling over because you're whatever, you're like hopping through the rocks in the creek. And again, she's wearing like something so like revealing, and like maybe once or twice does it accidentally slip out, and it's like does a nipple slip out? Sure. But like I would be like if that were me, I'd be like like just that would be my only I wouldn't be able to focus on the date. I'd be like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm going to fall, get blisters, everything's gonna fall off, and then I'm just gonna like slip on something and hit my head, and then this is our first
Yeah.
date." Like,
I'm with you. I think it was dangerous in its charm.
yes,
Or it was
yes,
charming. It was charming in its danger. I don't know. But it was
yes.
like,
It's like those things. Like, okay, it's like I believe time travel will exist in this world, but it's like those tiny little things that will like that. I'm like
that takes you out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I completely believe that she's texting with someone from 5 months ago. Like I believe multiverses exist. Blah blah blah. But like sometimes when it's like these very like real moments where it's like you're able to put yourself in there, you've had an experience like it before, and you're just like, oh no, that's disgusting.
Oh
I would
no,
never do
honey.
that.
No,
That's
no.
the most unromantic thing in the world.
Uh, Yes, yes, and yes, I co-sign. Hey, actually, maybe you can add some clarity because
Hmm.
I think I missed something. So you remember how you're saying there's epinephrine and then there's spring. There's the two
Hmm.
cats, and
Hmm.
then at some point, like the one cat disappears,
That's
and
correct.
they're like mewing for each other, which
Hmm.
is such a gorgeous lesbian euphemism of like cats mewing for each other.
They were
But also,
mewing.
could you explain like what the logistics? I was like, I missed something. So
Yeah,
how'd that
I did
happen?
have to reread that because like I
Oh,
was
okay.
like I did like look it over again this morning because I was like confused. So basically, like in 5 months ago, like Meryl and Tressa's relationship is like continuing to evolve. It's kind of changing the course of the future. In the past, they get like they basically move in. Meryl gets a cat
Right.
um, named Spring. And so then in the present, Tressa has, and the present where Meryl is already missing, Tressa has a memory of like, oh, we got a cat. So she goes to like not the cat store, the cat cafe, or, wherever you would get the cats, the cat shop, the cat
The
mall.
cats, cats are us. She
Cats
went
are
to
us.
Cats Are
She
Us.
goes to Cats Are Us. And they're like, oh no, we never had a cat like that. I don't remember, blah, blah, blah. And, but then so you think, oh, okay, like is Meryl like is this one like is this kind of making it seem as if like Meryl is going to disappear? There's nothing that like you like the two of them can do to save Meryl. But when they're it's like a couple months later, um, like and like okay, Tressa's like really heartbroken. She hasn't seen Meryl. Like she's feeling like okay, is like she's just like at the lowest of the low. Like is Meryl ever going to come back? All of a sudden, like the cat starts meowing in the same way that it would meow when it would be around spring. And so I think that was happening because this was during that moment 5 months ago when she was like underwater and it's, like when she like at the moment it goes from like September 4th to September 5th and like she's like
Yeah.
experiencing everything at once. Like that's
Yeah.
what I thought that moment was. So like the cat starts mewing and then like like Tressa's like slowly realizing like why do I not feel as sad anymore? I'm not as sad anymore. I'm not as sad anymore. That is because and it ends up being that like she's right there. You know what I mean? But it was like the cat it was almost as if like the cat remembers
That's what it
before the
was.
human. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was evidence that that this cat was real. It was part of their lives, and
Yes.
epinephrine's
Yeah.
like, wait a second. Like we were basically witnessing epinephrine going through the moment of like, wait a second. Wasn't there a cat here? Wasn't there my buddy Spring? Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cuz like I think that like when like the as humans when they would have like the memory of like oh wait we did that like when they're having a like when a new memory comes they're like questioning it. But cats, they're so smart and evolved and beyond, they don't question. They're just like, "Oh, I remember my friend. Time in the past is changing. Okay,
Meow.
moving on." Exactly, exactly. Like they don't need to question their own sanity. Like they're fine.
Yeah. Guys, we can all learn. That's another therapeutic model we can introduce.
Yeah,
It's
cat therapy. Just be like a
just cat
cat.
therapy. Meow.
Stop judging yourself. Shit's weird. Stop judging.
Just we did it. We did some important work here today, Becky. Thank you so
We
much.
really did. Oh my God, I could talk about this book like so much, but I want to ask you if you have any final thoughts, things that like you were thinking about that you didn't get a chance to say, and am also going to ask you for a rating. Now, in terms of a rating, so you could think about it for a sec. I was thinking, so Tressa is a hairstylist, and she like carries her like scissors and tools in like a really sexy holster.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I'm
And so
picturing.
I was thinking, rate on how many sexy hairstylist holsters. 1 out of 5 holsters means you hated it. 5 out of 5 means you loved it. Rate on how much fun you have because I know the last romance you read was
30,
four
30.
score and 20 years ago or whatever.
Call that.
Yeah.
Call that. I would say if we're judging how much fun I had reading it, 5 out of 5 holsters.
Same.
Ugh, so fun. So fun. I loved
So
how
fun.
it made me horny. It made me clutch my pearls and blush. I loved all the representation in it. I also loved the crossover love that was happening. It was very inclusive. I also loved that they weren't being selfish or trying to be like saviorism with like with the world,
Right.
because it just was very insular. It was a kind of like it was kind of a small story, and I appreciate that. I want more. I think it really, yeah. If there was a sequel, I would read it. If you hear of any other queer time travel books, would you pass them my way?
100%.
Thank
100%.
you.
Yes. I completely agree with you. Like, I think that, like, this would make such an excellent TV series. And I think what I love about it is that time travel and, like, whatever this kind of phenomenon in and of itself is very epic. And I think maybe our brains think it needs to be applied to, like, an epic story, whether it's like saving the world from apocalypse or like Skynet or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like, no, like this epic kind of like philosophical kind of like, you know, speculative kind of thought process can just apply to just two people falling in love, you know? And I'm like, it was beautiful. And so I was like, it made it so much fun because like there was a lot that just like went over my head. I'm like, I have no idea. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was
It
just
doesn't
like
matter.
yeah.
And they tried to dumb it down for us. They really did.
And
I was so
loved
grateful.
that. Yes. And it was like even when they did and it's like, okay, I think I get it. And then it was just like then the next chapter will happen and I'll be like, wait, hold on a second. And then it ends up being, oh no, you just got to keep reading because then it'll make sense. And it's like there's something very clever about that, even as frustrated with my own brain that I got.
Yeah, we're clinging to our linear mindset and all of the time travel stories that have polluted, you know, our perspectives prior.
Yeah.
But no, I think yes, and by saying Skynet, I think you've bumped T2 into like my top 3 favorite time travel movies.
No way.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah,
It's a good one. Yeah.
So my top 3 have historically been Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Great.
Somewhere in Time. Do you know that?
Is that the one with Rachel McAdams? Not Time Traveler's Wife.
No, but you're
she's in another one.
Yeah, you're thinking this is old. This is from like 1979 or 1980. It's Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. Oh my god, I love Christopher Reeve so much.
Oh my god, you're not okay. Then I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But I think it's the most realistic way one could travel through time.
Okay. That is on my to watch list. This is like it's
two
happening.
opposite types of films. We got Bill and Ted. We got Somewhere in Time. It's oh my god. Please text me your reaction to it.
Okay.
And it was Primer, but I haven't seen Primer. That's like kind of an indie darling from, God, I don't know, the aughts maybe. I remember watching it and being so blown away by how simple it was and how smart it was. But I need to give it a rewatch to see if it still holds up.
Right.
If it doesn't hold up, T2's taking its place. T2.
Nice.
So thank you.
I love it. T2
is very
great.
precious to me. Yeah.
I love it. And it honestly, okay, I'm totally opening up a whole other can of worms, but isn't there is it Philip K. Dick who wrote not the Sirens of Titan? I'm getting all of these like sci-fi authors confused, but there was the one where it's the guy who can like travel back at any point in time and like see his life. And it was like one of the first books that I was like, oh yeah, you don't have to see like time is linear, and it like helped me with that.
Cool.
I will think of this book. It's like probably on my shelf. Everyone in college was reading. Everyone in college was reading it and was like, it would change their life about like time travel and time perspective. And I was like, okay, I gotta remember what it is, and I will tell everyone what it is once I remember.
I'm so excited. Yes, please. You owe me that title because I love that. I used to have an imaginary friend.
So cute.
And she was a tree, and her name was Patrita, and
Great name. It's almost as
can't make
almost
this
as good
up.
as Tressa.
Almost good. I was like, are they saying Tressa May? No, it's Tressa Faye. Got it. Got it. No, no. So I think back to like how real she was in my life, and I'm like, was that an imaginary friend, or was that wise old Deanna checking in and healing inner child Deanna? Because my access to spirituality and grounding and all that stuff is through envisioning that I'm a tree, that like I have roots that like envelop
Yeah.
earth, that I have branches that envelop like the above, you know, the above ethers, and that like just my duty on earth is to be a conduit between like earth energy and like the atmosphere energy. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, am I Patrita? Is I
I
guess
I
so to
think you
travel back.
are. Yes.
So that's why this book would really resonate with me if you
Okay.
if because I believe that it's not just I'm not unique in that way. We all have that power to revisit our
Mhm.
lives at any point. But
Yes.
yeah.
Oh. Oh my god. I really, honestly, I really need to review more time travel romances with you because this was like the most
Please.
fun I've had. And it's like I could talk, I feel like we barely scratched the surface of this book and like everything. This was so
It's implications. Oh my goodness.
yes,
Yes.
and like what it
Please.
means to just be human on this planet and just like how to view things. And I don't know, like I feel so stoned and happy, and I didn't do anything artificial to get to me to that place. It was just talking about this book.
Well, I'll bill you for
Okay.
seriously, Becky, thank you so much. I really would. Anytime you got some, it doesn't have to be queer, but I would prefer queer, but literally any time travel romance novel, I will totally nerd out on with you.
Okay, so the time travel book I was talking about that I like could not remember the name of was Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut, which upon rereading the plot summary, the time travel elements like could be interpreted as like PTSD flashbacks from an unreliable narrator, but I guess when I read the book I chose to rely on the narrator. Anyway, I did watch Somewhere in Time like Deanna recommended and I loved it. I highly recommend it. So, if you enjoyed this episode of TSTL, maybe you can highly recommend it by leaving a review or a comment wherever you get your podcasts. And if you didn't enjoy it, chances are you're probably not listening to me right now, so I won't finish the rest of this sentence. Thank you so much for listening to Too Stupid to Live, and I hope you have a non linear rest of your day.